right, so this is CryptoKingJAY back with another video. And let me start this one off right. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving anyone financial advice. I do personally invest in Bitcoin, Ripple, Ethereum, Litecoin, and a bunch of other cryptocurrencies. Everything you hear on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. And I just want you to know that when investing, you have the potential to lose it all. So with that in mind, let's get right into it. This is going to be a long video. This is going to be all about XRP, the future of XRP, what I think is going to happen to Ripple in 2019 and, going forward. So we're going to start this one a little bit different. We're going to start this with this short video by Milton Friedman. He's a Nobel Prize winning economist, and he said this in 1999.
So that I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. The way in which I can take a $20 bill and hand it over to you, and there's no record of where it came from. And you may get that without knowing who I am. That kind of thing will develop on the internet, and that will make it even easier for people to use the internet. Of course, it has its negative side. It means that the gangsters, the people who are engaged in illegal transactions will also have an easier way to carry on their business.
So look, the writing's on the wall. The writing's been on the wall. I got a question. Like, if you want to find a corrupt politician, what do? So number one, you listen to the smart people because they've probably already told you that this person's dirty. But number two, you follow the money. You follow the paper trail. And if you want to get rich off cryptos, you should be doing the same thing. You should be following the money, following the smart people, following the big boys and seeing what they're doing. And with that said, that takes us to Ripple XRP, what the big players are doing. And in this video, we're just going to do a deep dive into some Ripple news, Ripple partnerships, what the big money is doing now, and what they're planning to do in 2019 and moving forward. So the first thing I want to go over, this is actually a little bit of old news. This is actually from May of 2018. So this was an episode of the Ellen DeGeneres show where she had Ashton Kutcher on. And Ashton Kutcher, a lot of people just know him as, the funny guy from that 70s show. They might know him from Dude, Where's My Car? But, Ashton Kutcher has invested in a lot of really big name startups. Actually, if you look here, he's invested in Uber, Airbnb, Spotify, etc. So let me just get into this article a little bit. So Ashton Kutcher, an actor and tech investor, had a pretty non-traditional gift for TV host Ellen DeGeneres on Thursday. Kutcher and his team donated $4 million in Ripple XRP's token to her wildlife charity, the Ellen DeGeneres Wildlife Fund. We can actually transfer the donation into Rwandan francs right now, right here, and all we have to do is push this button and it's in your account, Kutcher said. So Ashton, he actually invested into Ripple. He's also invested into BitPay, and he's been a supporter of cryptocurrency and blockchain for a while. And so the reason I even bring this article up, like I said, this is old news, but what it is kind of just foreshadowing for the future. This is an entertainment, star. And then we have Ellen DeGeneres, who's, she's a mega star. I'm sure she has like 50, million Instagram followers, like 20 million YouTube subscribers, etc. This is kind of the start of mass adoption. I mean, and this is what's coming up. Like right now, we have Ripple sitting at number 2 in market cap. Soon, I can really see Ripple overtaking Bitcoin. I mean, maybe I wouldn't, soon meaning, within the next year to 2 years. But, when we're looking at a brand new market or, brand new asset class, 2 years, a year, that's not a long time. So the next thing I wanted to go over, this tweet was actually 4 hours ago. So what he said is seen on LinkedIn, slow or fast adoption, bull run soon or later. No one knows. Stop guessing. All that matters is that institutions like Morgan Stanley have a head of digital asset markets. Adoption is coming, is coming. What will get you there is patience. Okay, so what he's referring to is he took a screenshot of Andrew Peel, who's the head of digital asset markets at Morgan Stanley, who was talking about, him speaking at a crypto summit, a crypto summit that was hosted by Bloomberg. So just think about this. What I'm talking about with, Ashton Kutcher, and just the future is mass adoption. Why is it that Morgan Stanley, Morgan Stanley being one of the biggest US banks, why do they have a head of digital assets? They are gearing up for mass adoption. It's simple, guys. The big boys are setting up to make their play. And either you play along with them or you play into their hands by selling your positions or by not accumulating more in your positions, the positions that you already have, because that's exactly what they're doing right now. So when it comes to Ripple, I want to, not just touch on my opinion, but let's get the opinion of one of the largest players in the finance game. Let's get the opinion of American Express. Let's see what they're saying. So as usual, I'm going to have the links to all these articles down below the video. So if you want to check them out for yourself, you can definitely do that. So this article is titled American Express praises Ripple's capability to process cross-border transactions in a matter of seconds. So I want to get to what their general manager said. Okay, so blockchain. So this is what their general manager said. Blockchain is absolutely an option we're looking at. Just to give you a sense, we have invested in a fintech lab based on blockchain technology, just to understand how to leverage this better. We did a pilot. We did a test partnering with Santander locally. And just so you guys know, Santander has been partnered with Ripple for a while now. I believe since 2016 or 2017. So we did a test partnering with Santander locally and with Ripple to just do cross-border transactions. Cross-border transactions continue to be complex and slow. And in a matter of seconds through this test, our clients were able to transfer funds in a very transparent and seamless way from one part of the world to the other one. So then he goes on to say, there is more to come. There's still a lot of things that need to get addressed with blockchain as a technology, but it's very promising. The future is definitely digital. Digital is the way payments will continue to be across both the consumer part of the business and I'm sure there's supposed to be an and there, and the commercial part of the business. So like it's kind of simple. I mean, like I said before, the writing's on the wall. Just like Milton Friedman back in 1999, there needs to be a digital way for payments to be transferred. And there's no bigger market to go after than the financial market, the financial institutions that as soon as they get in, you're not talking about, your average client investing $100 like, it might be with Bitcoin, when you have just everyday people investing. With Ripple, we're talking about big money. We're talking about institutions where each client, is probably investing, 5 million plus with each investment that they make. And that is one of the main reasons why I am so bullish on Ripple is because I feel like they're doing it right. I mean, and the fact of the matter is just the banks play on cryptocurrency. So of course they're going to do it right. And me just knowing the banks, I'm not going to bet against the banks at any point in time. And so American Express, I did also just want to point out that this is a company with $10 billion worth of revenue. And that these are the type of clients that Ripple is going after. These are the type of clients that Ripple is partnering with. So next, I want to move into some of the specific bank partnerships. So in 2018, they've partnered with 11 more out of the top 100 banks across the world. So the first one, and I shouldn't say these are. I mean, at least I don't think these are actually all banks. Lian, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they are like a payment company, more of a like kind of like a Western Union type company. Wait, so this is one of their major partnerships. Uh, Credit Agricole. This is a Swiss company. Mercury FX. The Retail Saudi Bank. Excuse me. Ripple PNC Bank, one of the biggest U.S. banks as well. So just think about it. Why are all of these type of customers? Why is it that Ripple is even able to get these type of customers? One of the main parts of it is who Ripple is in themselves. Who they have, like with Brett Garlinghouse being their CEO. We have David Schwartz, their CTO, who I actually want to touch on him a little bit later. I mean, these are some of the best and the brightest in the world working behind, blockchain technology, but then specifically Ripple. So in this is a Medium post. This is titled Ripple, a crypto partnership giant. And in here, I just wanted to go over some of the other partnerships. So just talking about 2016. So moving on to 2016, it was when Ripple's business started to boom. In 2016, they succeeded in partnering with a long list of banks across the globe. Santander, like I already mentioned in that first article, Santander, Unicredit, UBS, Rice Bank, CIBC, National Bank of Abu Dhabi, ATB Financial, and the list goes on and on and on. And then even here, so in 2017 is when the first, I guess, test or partnership with American Express actually happened. And then in 2018, they had a test with MoneyGram as well as Western Union, but I know the test with Western Union did not work out. So I mean, that's another thing. Everything isn't going to work out. I mean, this is still like real world. So if a company comes in, they're not saving the type of money that they think they'll save by using Ripple's technology. They're out. They do have other options. But just the list of partnerships that Ripple has, and just the fact that they're connected to all of these institutions, I think this is one of the main reasons. My price prediction by the end of 2019, I think Ripple's going to be sitting, you know, at a strong resistance at $5. I think that's going to be the solid bottom for Ripple by the end of 2019. Going into 2020, man, I think Ripple might be $20 easy. And it's simply because they have the most use case, the most practical real world use, and that use isn't consumers, but it's business owners. And that's the game changer. So this, I'm going to leave, like I said, I'm going to leave the links to everything below, but you can see a list of the live partnerships that Ripple has. You can see the list of the different exchanges that it's also on. But I wanted to go to Coin Codex to show you guys the exchanges, because you can see just how long this list really is. So I think right now, all total, there's about 46 different exchanges that lists XRP. And one of the articles that I did want to pull up was actually, it's not up here now, Coinbase. Oh, actually, here it is. So one of the next things I wanted to touch on when it comes to partnerships and just, news for Ripple going into the future is Coinbase. I mean, and actually back in, I guess, probably January of this year. Actually, let me get into the articles because I think it touches on that. January of this year, how a lot of people thought that it was already going to get listed. So this article is titled, "It is no longer a matter of if, but when Coinbase will list XRP." So to start here, a silver lining for XRP. The new list did, however, include XRP, thus providing a silver lining for fans of the digital asset who have been waiting for a listing since early January this year. Back then, XRP went on to reach levels of $3.84 as traders were sure it was the next to be listed on the exchange. Bitcoin Cash had been listed a few weeks earlier in December 2017, but the listing fell through and XRP tailspin to current levels of around 30 cents. The decline in value was, however, accelerated by the current bear market that was catalyzed by regulatory fears across the globe, exchanges being hacked, hash wars, and traders throwing in the towel due to investor fatigue. However, amidst the turmoil, XRP has managed to become one of the most resilient digital assets in the current bear market. XRP has slowly but surely climbed the ranks according to market capitalization, even edging out Ethereum in the process. XRP is now ranked second according to market capitalization. And then it goes on at one point to just talk about what XRP needs to dethrone Bitcoin. So using Coinmarketcap's ridiculous figures, XRP needs to only be valued at $1.52, 52.5 cents to dethrone Bitcoin. On the other hand, using Yahoo's figures, XRP needs to be valued at 62 cents to achieve the same goal. Well, one thing I don't know why they're not stating, which it should be clear, is that it's not like XRP is going to go up and Bitcoin is only going to go down. So it's not like it could just just immediately overtake Bitcoin. And that's why I said it might take a year to 2 years, because yeah, it might get there, but Bitcoin's still going to be rising in value as XRP is rising in value as well. So, but this is just one thing to note going forward, when it comes to, the mass adoption of Ripple specifically, and just, the rise of the market. When XRP, and I do say when XRP does overtake Bitcoin, the price of XRP is going to be skyrocketing. And for the people that are already in, that's cash money. And for the people that have been just watching, thinking about Ripple, or saying, oh, I don't like Ripple because it's centralized, because the banks are involved. You need to be happy that the banks are involved, because the banks don't lose. And if you can get in with them, why would you not? So last but not least, in this article, which is kind of the last point I want to go over in, why I have these bullish sentiments toward XRP, which we see today, it's trading at 30 cents, down from yesterday. I think yesterday got up to 32 cents. But this article this is from David Schwartz, or this is quoting David Schwartz. He's the Ripple CTO, the Chief Technology Officer. XRP price needs to go high for the firm to target bigger payments. So I'm going to start here. During the quarterly reports, blockchain settlement startup Ripple has indicated the significant improvement in XRP sales during the Q3 period of 2018. Ripple released its digital virtual currencies XRP market report for the third quarter midweek last week, where it shared the 120% growth that was recorded in comparison to the percentages that were met from the preceding quarters. And I'm going to skip this and then come back, post right there and come back to it. But during Q3 of 2018, Ripple tactfully sold over $65 million worth of XRP assets, which is said to account for just about 17th percent of the total XRP that exchanged hands during the quarter. Moreover, still, of the Q3 figures, Ripple's subsidiary XRP2 LLC is said to have sold over $95 million worth of XRP in direct institutional sales. Key point: in direct institutional sales that helped the combined net sales that were experienced during the time to stand at 165 million. So, key point, which I've touched on in other videos: the institutions have already bought in to the tune of $165 million. So what that actually means, when we have these direct institutional sales, these are called over-the-counter sales. So this is not, Chase Bank going to Binance.com and, putting in a $10 million order to buy Ripple, which would, move the market significantly. This is a direct sale, so the market isn't going to be, directly impacted by that. But what this is the same way, just how all banks, they have their money in a pool. When they do these bank to bank transactions, it's not like they're like really, sending a Brinks truck 100, it's 100,000 miles, to go deliver a Brinks truck full of $10 million worth of cash to this other bank. They have their money in a pool where it's just a ledger, basically an online, digital ledger that just says, we're sending this amount of our holdings in the pool that we all have a part of. I'm sending this part of mine to this guy, and now he has it. And so then if he sends part of it back, at some other point, has the money really even moved? No, it really hasn't. It's still been in that same pool. And that's what this $165 million that has been, pooled, that has been bought by these institutions, that's what it really is. It's them pulling the money together so that they can start doing these big cross-border, remittance payments and, bank-to-bank transactions. And that is the banks really investing, getting in, into Ripple. And going forward, we are going to see the impact of this because eventually, a lot of the banks, just like, we've seen, with Bach coming up with Ripple, I mean with Bitcoin, Ethereum going to be listed as an ETF. A lot of the banks are going to be, starting to actually trade on the market. They're going to be, most likely, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, but they're going to be doing some market making. I mean, as much as, Ripple's going to probably say that they're not going to allow it or whatever, I know that that's going to happen because that's what happens anytime there's, trillions of dollars up for grabs, basically. If you have that much money, why would you not manipulate the market if, it's there to be manipulated? But guys, I mean, I know this was a lot of news. This is a lot of information that I talked about, but I hope that you guys see, the bigger picture here. See the plays that the big money are making and why they're making it. And actually, the last thing, because I skipped this, but one of the things that David Schwartz said is when Bitcoin sold for $1, you couldn't really use them to buy or sell a house. You can now. Bigger transactions require bigger value. The higher the price of XRP, the larger the payments Ripple can target. And as I talked about earlier, Ripple isn't targeting the everyday Joe. Ripple is targeting banks for bank to bank transactions. So Ripple's price has to go higher. Ripple needs the price to get to, $50, $100 for these banks to use that money to transfer for their Ripple. Because right now, at 165 million, let's let's do the math real quick. $165 million. Let's say that they bought it for, let's just say 29.5 cents. So that means that right now they have, that doesn't seem like enough. 448 million Ripple. Sorry, I should have done it divided by. So let's just say they bought it for 29.5 cents. That means that they have, let's just say 559 million XRP. So they have Right now, there's how many circulating? So, oh, yeah, that's a lot. So I mean, yeah, they have a good they have a very sizable portion of the entire circulating supply of Ripple right now. And just think about it. So if they have, a bunch of different clients, let's just say hundreds of clients sending large payments at once, that's not going to be possible if the price of Ripple is so low because they'd have to use so much of their supply for each transaction. So that means there wouldn't be enough supply for all the transactions to occur at one time unless the price of Ripple was higher, because then it would take less coins for each transaction if each coin is worth $100 or $200. And that's what Schwartz was saying. You couldn't buy a house, when Ripple was just $1, but now you can buy a house now that Ripple's, $3,000, $4,000, because it's only going to take a couple Ripple, to get up to the price of that house. Where if you're trying to buy a house with Ripple, you're talking about a couple million of the coin. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the content, then please leave the video a like, give it a thumbs up, leave your comments down below. I would love to, have some discussions with people down in the comment section. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. So this is Crypto King Jay, and I'm out.